it does. We're not even all right. We are live, but I can't get the.
Live. All right.
We're live, but we can't get the thing to show up.
In.
Who cares?
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
It's the first of the month. What do we got here? We got Raphael.
Yeah, I just can't let Halloween go. You know, but this really hurts my eyes. So
All right, we already quit.
Yeah.
That's the kind of commitment that you get with Adam.
True.
2 seconds in, he's out.
That's it.
So we are live. The Rusty Putter. Everyone survived snowy Halloween there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to winter.
We got this guy here, Nick Oosting. I think you guys, the 8 people that watched the previews, he is here in person.
Yeah, we're here.
It was cold, 30 degrees. Got about 1 inch, 2 inches of snow, depending on where you're at.
Took 20 minutes to warm up the RP over here with the heater.
Yep.
Thought they cut the heat out, you know.
I paid that bill.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. We had to do a little windshield scraping today, probably for most of Chicagoland area. Everyone forgot how to drive.
That's what
Now,
happens.
is it black ice to cause them to forget how to drive, or is it Mariah Carey's Christmas music being on Light FM?
That's today. It's already there.
Today, correct. It is today. Like, I don't know what's worse. The bigger conspiracy theory: 5G cell towers or Mariah Carey coming off of Light FM.
How much does she make, you think, every time that plays?
I don't know.
Like $3,000 per play.
Where's Reese at? We need
Reese, look that up.
Sabrina. You got to figure that.
Fact check.
Sabrina, next week we
What
want
does
an
Mariah
entire.
Carey make?
We want all Mariah Carey Christmas stats, and we also want a Christmas dip, gingerbreads, frostings, the whole thing. Perfect. Well, we got Nick here, Nick McColly Bennett, right?
Yep.
Pleasure to have you. We're gonna go through some sports first, and then Adam and I are gonna do a deep dive,
Yeah.
Barbara Walters style on you. We're gonna see if we get you to cry.
Yeah,
Will you be
We
the
want to know
first
what
one?
makes Nick tick.
You didn't tell me
yeah.
that.
What was it like? What was that Jerry Maguire? Like he got me to cry. A tear. So we all know the Bears are atrocious.
Oh, God.
That game against the Chargers was a waste of a Sunday night.
It was bad.
There is nothing more miserable than it being 38 to 40 degrees, rainy all day, and you watch the Bears. Opening drive, little questionable referee action there. We'll see what happens, you know. But like, get up, run the play, like, run the ball to the end zone. Who knows, man?
Can Bayless Jones catch a football?
Velus Jones can't even walk.
He's
He
playing for the
falls
Bears,
out.
though.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yep.
If you cannot walk in chew gum or run in chew gum or catch a football, we'll take you at Hallis Hall.
That's it.
It
We'll
was
take
like
it.
clumsy, and then they slowed it down and it made it look even worse. He was just like, ugh.
Oh yeah. Listen,
Still hit him in
Velus
the chest.
Jones.
Still hit
I'm
him in
gonna
the
tell you
chest.
this though. Velus Jones, not the only person from Alabama to disappoint me lately. All right.
Oh,
Zing.
Ooh, zinger. But
didn't
yeah,
know that?
he's atrocious. He's been bad. Like we've been in the Bears 3 years now, 2 years.
3 years too long, yeah.
Really, really good at fumbling, kick returns, punt returns.
Still returning kicks, by the way.
Yeah, just what the hell is going on with the Chicago Bears?
Well, you know.
Either tank or don't tank, right?
Well, we've been
Jim
tanking
Har-
for how many years?
I don't even know. Jalen Johnson, we actually have a couple good defenders. Jalen Johnson, way better than Eddie Jackson, by the way.
Yeah.
Says, hey, I want to get traded. Contract year. Bears say, go out there. Go, young man. Go find yourself a trade.
Yep.
What a move, too. They're just like, whatever.
I would have stayed in LA. I wanted to flow back with the team. I'll find different work out here. He's done. Like, hey, I want to get out of here. Guess what? No offers. Can't figure it out.
So
Come
what
on
happens then? They get to keep him, obviously, right?
Yeah, they keep him, and that's just a
Losing.
toxic. It's just
Probably.
a toxic situation.
Probably losing for nothing. At the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
year.
he'll leave.
So
Now.
we won't
He'll
trade him.
leave.
Yep.
They won't sign him. Maybe we get. I think we get maybe a compensatory draft pick, so like maybe
Whatever
a
that is,
fourth
yep.
or fifth rounder.
Jeez.
Yeah, just atrocious.
It's the Bears way.
You know, then we
he's
trade-
good, right? Like, why don't you just show some like good faith and?
Oh no, because you know what we'd rather do? We'd rather trade a second round pick for a defensive end from the Commanders, and
Yep.
you know, I guess thank God we don't deserve draft picks. We can't develop them.
True.
We do have some
they
draft capital.
leave.
Was
We
it
do.
Nick?
When we do, they leave.
Yeah, like
So-
it's
Jalen Johnson, case in point.
they either leave or they want to leave. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
It is frustrating to watch how bad the Bears are.
What's their record even? Like 1-2 and whatever.
2-6, I think.
Yeah.
2-5, 2-6.
But here's an interesting thought on this, right? So the Bears consistently have brought in subpar talent to coach and to run the team, right? You've got Matt Eberflus, Matt Nagy, Mark Trestman. They brought John Fox, and that was the only guy with pedigree. Didn't really work out. But if you look at the teams in the NFL that have consistent outside of the Patriots right now, but you've had Bill Belichick run a dynasty for a little while.
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got the Eagles and the Chiefs with him.
Yeah. The guy's good.
That's the difference between using a professional in any industry.
Yeah.
Versus not. Like it makes no, I guess it doesn't make, you can't find great coaches everywhere, but stop the flavor of the month crap for the Bears.
It's almost like winning isn't the priority. Maybe they don't even need to win to make money.
Well, that's the thing. So I mean, you figure the Chicago Bears are the only team that was owned by a family that became billionaires because they owned the team.
Yeah.
Everyone else, oh yeah, you got so you got the Waltons. They buy the Broncos. You got Jerry Jones.
Yeah, who just bought the Redskins too? I mean, got a bunch of entrepreneurs there.
Yeah.
Well, they're not the Redskins anymore. But
Yeah, you mean the Commanders?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, all these other teams.
The Indians too.
Yeah, exactly. The Guardians now.
Oh,
yeah. The NFL is just it's a strange bird. You got all quarterback. The Bears are playing a Division II guy undrafted as their starting quarterback right now.
He's playing pretty good.
He's
playing better than their first.
Well, yeah, you gotta show some heart. Like that's all I want to see is heart.
Yeah.
Every Chicago. I mean, this is still a lunch bucket and hard hat type of town, right? Show some heart.
Yeah.
A little heart. Get a little heart in there, Nick. Speaking of heart, the Bears all of a sudden a new bidder here in the where to build Soldier Field 2.0. Country Club Hills.
Come on down south, baby.
Yeah.
Right on 80 there. Pay a lot of tolls to get there.
Yeah.
A lot of empty
80. It's like 294. It's like perfect.
All right.
Bad spot.
All right, Nick. So you do some commercial real estate, right?
We do. Yes, we do. Commercial, residential. Yes.
So has anyone reached out to you from Country Club Hills to say I got this awesome piece of land? Can you pitch it to the Bears?
No, I might have to get on the phone though.
All right, we're at the end of the show. We're gonna make sure your contact information is out there because if you sold the land to the Bears for them to build Soldier Field 2.0, it'd
be amazing.
We're gonna have to kick your ass.
Yeah, he's gonna retire.
You should. Hey, you know what? Illinois is nice. How about you guys move to Iowa so you don't stop breaking our hearts? We'll become Colts fans over here. And like Country Club Hills, they're in the running. Matson's in the running. I think Richmond Park's in the running.
Yeah.
Naperville tried something.
Everyone's
trying. Yep.
And
why not?
They're just gonna stay.
What are they gonna do with Arlington Heights though?
They've already torn. It's already torn down. Like 98% of it's torn down.
Really.
Racetrack, the building, all that stuff.
Wow.
So they just have this huge piece of land that
the Cook County tripled the taxes on, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Why don't they just move them to Crete? Let's go into that racetrack. Huh?
There we go. Let's just start tearing down all the racetracks.
Yeah.
What do they change their name to the horses?
There we go.
The Whirlaways or the I don't know. Give me a horse name over here, Nick. Come on. Rumor has it you might know about some horses.
I do. Yes. But doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you name them. They're the Bears at the end of the day.
The Chicago Trotters. There we go.
There you go.
That's a good
one. We got baseball here. World Series about over. Rangers just looking unbelievable.
Yep. It was like 10-0 in the second inning or something last night.
Yeah, Scherzer's off the roster now. He's sore back. Adolis Chapman, he's out too right now. Like, and they're still just destroying people.
Wow.
That's gonna be over quick.
Yeah, hey, just stick a fork in it.
Yep.
I'm tired of hearing about like all these other guys complaining that Travis Kelce was at World Series game on a Friday before a road game, but this guy got to live.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Baseball's baseball. About to be over. About to go to cold season here in Chicago, which means that we have the trifecta of suckles. The Bulls, mire to mediocrity, right? We got Vooch and Billy Donovan fighting. Vooch wants the ball. They're not going to win anything. Blackhawks rebuild. Call us in 2 years, but they'll still sell some tickets. Though. And Bedard's fun to watch, but like
he scores.
It's just again
he scores.
At least
we put some goals up.
We do. There is a heartbeat there. Right?
Yeah.
There's
the Bulls.
There's something. The Bulls are in the same place they've been for the past 10 years.
Yeah, they're just in basketball hell.
If they get in the playoffs, they're an 8-7 seed, and they get bounced in 5 games. And
no draft picks.
No draft picks. No.
Can't develop them. No one wants to come here and play because, again,
not enough talent.
Ran by buffoons.
Can someone just be good in Chicago for once?
It's possible.
Come on. The Cubs are looking good for next year. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, but we got to wait till March.
True.
Got like 6 months of nothing.
They can screw that up too.
But they are very capable of screwing that up.
They've done
They've
it.
been known to screw it up in September too.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Any more sports stuff?
No.
All depressing.
Exactly. It's
Depressing-
almost as depressing as the
Chicago
weather.
sports.
What is this? This is like the 1 year of the show going on, and it's still the same thing. Chicago sports suck. We might have to move to a new town.
Yeah.
Anyone looking?
Yeah.
So we got Nick Oosting here.
Oosting.
Tell us about you. Where are you
What's
from?
So I'm a licensed real estate agent in Illinois and Indiana
Cool.
with McColly Real Estate. I've been in it for 6-7 years now. We do residential, commercial. We do a lot of equestrian. As Tony mentioned here, I am in the family's been in the horse racing business my entire life, so we do know a little bit about Balmoral Park, which I did sell, by the way. So maybe we can try to resell that to the Bears.
Let's
Who knows,
resell it.
right?
Perfect.
Resell it to the Bears. Arlington Heights, I was not in on that one. I wish I was, but that was a lot bigger deal.
Yeah, been a decent little check there for you.
Yeah. I think
So
Were you a driver at any point?
my dad is a driver.
Cool.
I am not, but yep.
So tell us, like, obviously Illinois is kind of, I don't know, shut down horse racing a little bit, but we've seen, Arlington Heights goes away, Balmoral kind of goes away here.
Yeah.
What all happened with like Illinois and horse racing?
Well, they never were able to put the casinos in with the horse racing. Other states have been able to do that, so they've been able to stay alive, like Illinois, Indiana. My dad, I know, races down in Indiana now. You go there, it's a full casino when you walk
Really?
in. Yeah, so they got the racetrack part, and then they got the casino attached to it, and it's owned by the casino. So Illinois has never been able to do that. However, they do have a bill now that will allow that. A racino, they call them,
All right.
to be in Illinois.
There was a rumor
So-
of one of those trying to go into Tinley Park at one point.
Yes, there was.
No
Yep, that
kidding.
deal died down. So everybody was wondering, why not Balmoral? Well, the law states it has to be in Cook County. I get this all the time.
Crooks.
So, yep, it has to be in Cook County. Balmoral's obviously in Will County, so we have a big 200-acre land that's perfect for a racetrack. That's already set up pretty much for a racetrack.
And Hits is gone from there?
Hits is gone. Yep.
Unbelievable.
We sold it. I listed it with Hits and gone.
So who owns it?
It's a trucking company. Trucking outfit owns it. So
See the trucks parked in that big ass parking lot.
They're racing around the track.
yeah.
But the rest of it's going like it's just overgrown and like dilapidated. And,
Overgrown. Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside the building.
Yeah.
Not really inside the building, but it's old school. The outside of the building, roof stuff like that. The barns are in pretty good shape. So
So your dad was in, or still is, right? You
Yep.
said he's still racing horses in Indiana now.
yep, down in Anderson, Indiana, which is kind of by Indianapolis.
All right. What regular, like normal horses, trotters, what the whole thing?
Standardbreds. So
All right.
it's harness racing. Yep. So,
harness.
Yep.
Exciting.
Previous
Yeah.
to that, any other upstream on the family tree in horse racing? Or
So my dad is the 4th generation driver.
oh, all right. So it's
So I'm the
it's
one
in the
that's-
blood.
I'm the one that's cutting it.
All right.
But-
But you're driving the cart in real estate. I love it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I like that. That's good. But I have owned horses. My dad is driven them, so which is fun. I go down there and get to watch them.
That's an interesting
in the winter
business.
circle, so it's kind of a fun thing. But
Buying horses, developing them.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give the Bears some advice on how to do
I
that.
don't think they'll listen to me.
Okay.
So we do, we talked about, or you've talked here a little bit about the racetrack in Crete, Balmoral. You are, you advertise equestrian knowledge and all that stuff. So there are still a lot of houses in not Southern Cook, but I guess Northern Will County there, the Crete, Frankfurt, all along Route 30 that people used to train racehorses, bring them over there.
Yep.
There's still other pieces or other aspects of equestrian property, right?
Oh, a ton.
Show horses. What else do you got?
Well, you got show horses. That's a big thing. That's it. I mean, the equestrian, it's the horse business. It's huge, especially out where we're at. I mean, we get it all the time. We get cash offers on all our horse properties.
I don't think a lot of people know
come.
how big of first how big Crete is, land wise, and then that whole area that's what is that, east of 394?
Yep.
Man, there's some cool properties.
Yeah.
Some elevation changes.
It's its own little world.
It
over there.
is.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
If it was just in Indiana.
So how did you decide to get into real estate, Nick?
Real estate. So I was young, wanted to do something. I got into driving trucks first. I had my CDL, and I still have my CDL. Didn't like that whatsoever. I wanted to own my own truck, kind of do business that way. Didn't like working 10, 12, 14-hour days and then, waking up doing the same thing the next day. So decided to get my real estate license, something I was always kind of interested in doing. It's kind of a fun job, I thought, fun career, and I never looked back. So
When was that?
this was 6 years ago.
6 years.
It'll be 6 years in December.
Did you start with a mentor or start on a team at all? Where'd you?
I was my own agent. I started with Remax.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, you went in both feet in the deep end there.
Just went in. Yep. Went in with Remax. So my own agent was not part of a team. Had a mentor at Remax that helped me get off my feet and get going, and I haven't looked back. So.
All right. So about 6 years in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about where you served, Illinois, Indiana, both. Yep. You got license in both, which is critical, right?
Mm-hmm.
People moving both sides, each direction, maybe a little more one than the other, but we don't want to comment on that.
No.
Talk about the equestrian stuff, sports stuff, Bears guy, Sox, Cubs
all day.
Hockey at all? Blackhawks fan?
I watched a little hockey when they're good. I never was able to get into it, but.
All right. Bulls fan, maybe.
Sadly, I'm a Bulls fan. I'm a big basketball.
You are glutton for punishment. I love it.
Yep, big basketball guy. So I get to watch the Bears on Sunday and then the Bulls. And
Bulls all week to really set the tone for that Bears Sunday.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quit sports, I guess.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah,
it's tough stuff.
College, I'm a Michigan State fan, so my football team.
Sparty.
Yeah, from Michigan, actually. Originally from Michigan.
Oh, what part?
A town called Fremont, Michigan.
Where's that at?
That is by Muskegon. So everybody does the MIT.
Yep.
So we're on west side of the state. I'm doing it right around here, kind of by Muskegon area.
So Michigan State guys. So the Kirk Cousins injury.
Big Kirk Cousins fan. Yep.
That's another Achilles, right?
Another Achilles.
Yep. Turf. Stretch out your Achilles.
It's turf. It's the turf. Well, actually, that was at Lambeau, so that's the Tundra. But yeah, a lot of strange injuries in the NFL this year. We talk about that all day. Actually, that'd be an interesting one. So we're talking about horse racing at some point, right? So they race. Kramer, the famous, his mutter was a mutter, right? So you got a little mud track, you got dirt track, you got grass tracks, right? A little bit.
Yeah,
they call it turf. But tell us a little bit about like the racing surfaces. What do we know about them?
So, I don't know much about the racing surfaces, being honest with you. But there's injuries to the horses, like in all sports. It's the same kind of thing. You gotta. Typically, they race once a week.
Okay.
The horses do. So you're kind of keeping them all week. You're training them maybe a couple times throughout the week, just keeping them loose. It's just like any athlete. I mean, they are athletes. The jockeys are athletes. It's a whole thing. So like I say, they do race once a week, and they got to keep them good. And they get hurt. Sometimes they're gone for a couple months. So
Adam races once a week too.
I do.
Not me. This physique, I watch races once a week.
Yeah, shotgun beer race is what it is.
Yeah. So Nick, you're obviously a pretty young guy in this business.
Yeah.
How has that been a challenge? But talking to customers, they look at you and go, "Oh, Nick's too young." What do you do to combat that?
Yeah, so it was a bigger challenge early on in my career. Not so much now. We got the name out pretty good now. But early on in my career, we tried to be big in social media was kind of the biggest thing. Staying out in front, everything we were doing, we were advertising, putting it out there. That way, people could see our face in a different light.
Yep.
And the old school stuff always works. We still do mailers. We still do all that kind of stuff. But social media has been humongous. That's a way to stay in front of people all the time.
One thing that Tony and I talk about on this show is finding someone to help you that's a professional. So one thing I've noticed about you is that you take this thing. This is your career. You're not a part-time realtor that your cousins sold something, so you're listed. I mean, this guy has a team, a great team. He's marketing. He's got relationships. So if someone comes to you and they need something, like someone that is going to take care of them, whether it be foundation or a mortgage person or insurance, like that's important to look for. So
absolutely, we want a good team around us, which is why we work with you guys. Because you guys are great to work with.
And let's talk about that. So you and I had I guess not necessarily me transaction, but someone at my office had a transaction with your team.
Yep.
We
were on the listing side.
Yeah, you guys had the listing side. So this is what's crazy, but this is also why it is important to use good lender, good real estate agents that are all local, that have done business together,
that are engaged
and available and accessible.
Humongous. Yeah.
You guys, you or Abby reached out to me. I was teeing off on number 2 at Oak Springs.
Yeah.
He was one under.
Yeah. one beer under the belt, maybe. That's about it. But hey, we have a problem. One of your guys' buyers with one of your loan officers is, I don't want to say flaking, but got some cold feet, ran into a situation. He doesn't want to buy this house tomorrow. We have a seller
closing the next day.
Yes, we have a seller from out of town, big investor.
One of our top clients.
Exactly. We wowed him. You guys talk to me. I go, listen, Nick and Abby, I know what it's like to obtain a good client. It is hard.
Yeah.
Mortgages, real estate, insurance, to have a consistent referral source, a good client. You guys took our buyer's offer because people you guys know, right? We can trust. We know we're going to do business. And obviously, there's price and all that other stuff that goes into it too.
Yeah.
I don't want to discount that part.
Yep. But when everything's similar, working with you guys, that wins the deal, because we know we can get it from point A to point B. We can get to the closing line.
In our case, our buyer was moving from out of state to Illinois for a job, runs into a crazy situation, doesn't have an emergency fund ready to go, and everyone's stuck. So at, 7:30 on a Thursday night, we have no deal. By 8:15 a.m. on Friday, the deal's back on, put together.
That's insane.
And what it is, it's the difference between working with people that trust each other, have done business together before, and have confidence. So when Nick and Abby say, Tony, this is what we need, I go back to my loan officer, I go back to our buyer and say, listen, the seller wants this deal to get done too. No one wants this thing to die at the 1 yard line and 2 yard line like a Bears offensive drive, right?
Right.
So what do we got to do to get this thing put together? We rework it all. Now the difference is, you go to a huge company that has 14-digit extensions with people, and they got to call their boss, they got to call the regional manager, who then has to talk to the underwriting manager, who has to talk to corporate, who has to talk to the closing manager to get all that stuff done. For me, all of that process is contained at Novus. So for me, it was texting my closer, texting my underwriter, saying, small change on this file coming through, but instead of it being dead, it's going to happen. We're making someone a home buyer.
Yeah.
Everything's in-house with you guys.
Exactly. And it happened, honest to God, it happened between 7 p.m. and I think we asked you guys to close at 1 in the afternoon because we had to get a wire out, but that's the difference, right?
And it's not going to happen with a Quicken. It's not going to happen with a Redfin or like a Zillow. Like, that's just not going to happen. So I don't know if this is true or not, but it feels like AI is taking over everything in big business. But at the end of the day, I think relationships are still going to matter. More moving forward.
They will.
Which is important for when you're doing a real estate deal. You need to have someone on your team that can pick up a cell phone call on a Thursday night to save a deal. Like, that's
and then
that's just the crazy. We thought no way we're going to be able to close tomorrow.
You guys called me. I'm not going to lie. Like, my heart sank for a minute, but like, I was like, you know what? What is the most important piece of the puzzle? On your side, it's representing your seller and taking care of your seller.
Yep.
On my side, it's making sure that a buyer gets the opportunity to buy a house. Like, home ownership is something that unfortunately gets taken for granted a little bit too much in this marketplace. This is someone that was moving to the area. It's tough. He's moving 800 miles away, right? And you're essentially dealing with strangers at that point. But how great was it for me to be able to tell this buyer, hey, listen, we already had a relationship with your agent. We had a relationship with the seller's agent. We were able to make this thing happen for you.
Piece it all together.
Like that. Overnight.
Yep.
And that's not something you get with bigger companies.
No, I was going to say it wouldn't happen to anybody else. We wouldn't have gotten a phone call till 9, 10 a.m. the next day. Then they probably would have pushed us on a Friday now. So they would have pushed us back. Would not have been able to talk to them on a Saturday or Sunday. So we probably wouldn't, maybe not close, maybe did close, but it would have been, if we closed, it would have been next week sometime, the following week. So,
and that's the difference. When you have, I'll vouch for real estate agents here. When you have a real estate agent on the buyer's side who is saying, hey, use a local lender. You don't have to use Tony or Novus every time. Use another local lender. I know my competition, and I know when they're good. But I know the bad competition too. The bad competition is going to result in a bad transaction, higher chance of failure, but also just that trust factor, right? You guys aren't going to sell me some, BS ticket about the seller. Like, you guys tell me about the seller situation, I know. Like, hey, these guys are telling the truth. I know what it takes. As someone that owns a business, I know what it takes to acquire a customer. Adam knows what it takes to acquire a customer.
Yeah,
it's tough right now.
It's everyday. Yeah. It's everyday stuff. It's not just it's not just having a client and doing business. It's a relationship, like you guys said. So we build that with you guys. We build that with our clients, and we try to continue that strong, just like you guys do. So. That's
the same with that. Like, people, hey, why are you suggesting the Hague Insurance Agency? Well, it's because I know that they're going to pick up the phone.
Yes.
Because no one's calling you to say, hey, Adam, how you doing?
No, that doesn't happen a lot.
They're probably texting you a picture of
I talk about that
a car accident.
Just
because I'm a therapist. Yeah. Just because we do therapy together doesn't mean. But they're
no one wants to talk to me.
They're reaching out to your office in a time of probably catastrophic need.
Yeah, quite a bit.
You know, but they're sending you a picture of a totaled car on the side of a highway, a house that's burned down and charred out, right? But you guys are there to pick up the phone. I've seen pictures of you meeting with people at a house that's got struck by lightning or on fire. Like, that's the difference between you and your operation and Geico, Hippo Insurance, Blue Lemonade, White Lemonade.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for us. I think you guys too. You know, when we recommend you guys, or really anybody that we work with, you know, we want to make sure they're taken care of. That's the biggest thing. So when we recommend them to you guys, you know, they're taken care of, and that's
local, real people.
Yeah, yep. That you can talk to, that you can meet. You know, that know the area, know the surroundings.
Maybe that should be our slogan now. Just local, period, real, period. Local, real. There it is.
Changing the show name. The new Rusty Putters are going to be local.
Yeah.
Here, you said like speakeasy chic though. Like,
yeah. Proudly serving whatever you bring.
There we go. I love it.
That's good.
We're gonna get some new We'll get some new little signs, and we'll go to Hobby Lobby and whatever other places. You know, instead of live, love, laugh, real.people.
Real people.
Nice.
That's good.
All right, Nick. So, been doing this a while.
Yep.
You've for the first 5 years of your career here, you've operated in a declining interest rate market. The last year and a half, we've seen rates go like 180 the other direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, if you're dealing with buyers, right? You guys work buyers and sellers.
Yep.
Your buyers right now, what are you telling them? Get prepared, be prepared, get a budget in line.
It's always preparing them for what it is and what can come. You know what I mean? Everybody watches the news, but you never know what's going to happen. But it's always get prepared. You know, talk to you guys. You know, get yourself locked in. You can always refinance later down the line. You know, don't let it stop you from buying a house. You know, don't let the rate stop you from buying a house. You know, buy the house, you can refinance it later down the line. Plus, if the rates ever come back down, the house prices just go up.
That's the biggest thing we've been talking about.
We did talk about that several episodes ago.
And we're talking about, like, because the piece of the puzzle that the average consumer doesn't see, right, is how few homes are actually available for sale.
Oh, yeah, low inventory. Yep.
And that's why we're talking about being ready. It's so that when the right house comes on the market, Nick's reaching out to his buyers saying, this one's on the market. It meets everything you got, but it's going to go quick. Mm-hmm. If you got everything in line, you can call your mortgage person. Hey, I got to bump up my approval letter. How can I make this one work? It's the right one. Yep. Being able to turn and burn fast.
Yep. Right? That way we get to the showing. We like it. We got everything ready to go.
You're right. Like, we had another agent on the other day who was talking about, you got to be able to be ready to write the offer in the driveway if you like the house, if it's a good one, right?
And we do that. That's why me and Abby work with each other each and every day. A lot of people know our unique partnership. So Abby is my partner, and we work every day side by side. Someone likes a house, I'm driving out to the next appointment because I don't let her drive. I have pictures to prove why I don't let her drive. We won't show those today. Yeah. But she's writing the offer up, and we're sending it out. We're calling the agent, and we're prompt, and we win a lot of contracts that way because the agents like working with us because they know that, you know, we're up front. We got everything. We got the pre-approval. We sent it right away. We're ready to go. You know,
you got a serious buyer. You're available, and on the listing side of things, right? So you're representing a seller, and you see an offer come through. It has a pre-qualification versus a pre-approval letter. You're probably discounting that offer a little bit, or it has no financing information, right?
Yeah. No matter what, we're calling the lender.
Yeah.
That's one of the first phone calls we make. Sometimes even before we talk to our sellers. That way, you know, when we present the offer, we know what's a strong offer, what's not. Because we're still seeing multiple offers.
Because like, what good is an offer that's $5,000 over list if the person really doesn't qualify for financing? It's not a real offer, right?
Right.
And then you're fighting with your seller. Your seller's upset. Yep. So you're doing all that scrubbing for your seller, saying, "Hey, like, I know this one looks real pretty, but it's got questionable financing."
Absolutely. Yep. I mean, we just want to get to the finish line. That's the biggest thing, you know. So we want to take the best offer, obviously, but we also want to get to the finish line with that offer. So
we're giving you a billboard on the side of 294. You can put whatever you want on it, and just know that you're gonna have a high traffic count. What are you putting on there besides "call me"?
I don't know. I guess I never thought about that.
Local,
real.
Call me.
Maybe. I guess, yeah.
What advice do you have for home buyers for the next 3 to 6 months?
It's be prepared. That's the biggest thing. Don't let the rates, you know, not buy the house, because we had it before too. Once the rates drop, the prices go up. Now they're worried about the price of the house. Buy the house with the rate. You know, refinance the rate when the rates come down, and then you got the house at a good price. Now it's your investment.
And you're still going to get the rate when it comes down.
Right. Yeah, but that's the best. Like, people don't understand that. I can get, if I wait, we talked about this the other day. If I wait a year and that property, a $400,000 property appreciates at 4%, now it's $416,000. I'm borrowing more money. Who cares if you're, don't look at what rate I'm borrowing money. Look at how much money I'm borrowing.
That's the biggest thing.
And look at the timeline too. It's like, you're talking about a 30-year time period. So you can refinance when it comes down, but that $15,000 jump over 30 years with that rate is like a $60,000 difference. Buy it now. Buy that now.
Yep.
So talk about the buyers, sellers. What are you telling them?
So we're preparing sellers a lot because of the rates. I think they went up every day last week or
yeah, last week was pretty ugly.
Yeah, it was an ugly week. So we want to make sure that people that are buying our listings, the pre-approval is good. It's solid. And, we're not going to have, the rates locked in. They're ready to go, ready to go now. But we're preparing them for that. We're preparing them. The market is still good. We're still getting a lot of showings. We're doing multiple offer situations on a lot of stuff that we go. So it's still a good time to sell, and house prices are still good. They're still rising at this point now. But we're preparing them for that. So that's why we always take extra steps to make sure that all the buyer listings are good to go.
When you're dealing with the listing, you're telling these guys clean up the house. We want some nice pictures, right?
Yep, clean up the house, make it look. We want it staged, but we don't want it overstaged. We want it kind of as ordinary as possible, so people can walk in and they can visualize it.
Yeah.
We don't like it empty. We like it just kind of table, something on the table. Everything cleared off.
Coffee
and
rings,
visualize it. Yeah,
all that.
Yep. We want them to be able to visualize them when they walk in, what they're going to do with everything else.
All right, what else you got for us?
That's it. We touched on a lot of stuff, really. The real estate market in our world is still good. In Illinois, too. People always say, oh, you do a lot of business in Indiana, which we do, but Illinois is a strong market.
Cool.
We actually get people moving back from Indiana to Illinois, as hard as that is to believe. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, as Indiana prices have accelerated so much that it's kind of offset the real estate. Like if you're looking at it from just a housing expense burden, they've almost neutralized.
Yep.
And then, like, honest to God, if you move from Illinois to Indiana, and you have children, all of a sudden your kids are going to way bigger schools.
Yep.
Getting, now you're looking at private schools, and you're eroding a lot of the benefits. I would say it's almost a neutral thing at this point.
Yeah, it probably needed to happen too, because it was just so lopsided for a while. But
and we've talked about this, like the affordability factor in Northwest Indiana, because the home prices have gone up so high, it's been weakened a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the infrastructure in Indiana too. They're not ready for that. Weren't ready for all the influx of people that come in from Illinois.
Not at the rate that it came. No, definitely not.
Interesting.
So market's still hot.
Yep.
The Bears suck. The Bulls suck. It's cold.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey Christmas.
We'll have those stats next week.
All of the stats, and we're going to have some type of good Christmas
tune in to make sure you got those stats next week.
Yeah, we're going to have
them. Nick, you're definitely coming back on. Man,
right.
we have
$3 million a year. How many times does it get played?
I didn't look that up, but I just
$3 million a year
off that song.
Off of All I Want for Christmas.
That one song.
I mean, listen, after a couple whiskeys, you're maybe like
who wrote the song originally? They're making more than she's making.
All right.
Okay, we'll get off.
No. I gotta have a serious question for both of you guys.
Okay.
So
Mariah Carey, yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you got a couple whiskeys, and it's a little dark, kind of snowing a little bit, and you're alone in your car, and that song comes on.
Yeah.
Are you singing it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
I'm wailing.
That's three out of three. That's it.
I'm turning it up.
Yeah. Oh, windows. I'm going windows down. I don't care how cold it is. Snow in the car. Anything else, Adam?
You gotta go all out with it.
Wow.
All I want for Christmas is a good insurance policy.
Sure is. Yep.
Right. Everyone needs to be checking on that. What's going on? So winter stuff, right? You probably need to look at making sure you got the right sump pump backup coverage, because you got all kinds of freeze thaw cycle going on.
Yeah. Make sure that you've replaced your sump pump, got battery backups, because it's going to freeze, it's going to snow a lot, then it's going to melt, and then your basement's going to get flooded.
Car insurance stuff, right?
A lot of slide on ice. Make sure you got the right liability coverage, because if you slide on ice, it's still your fault. So just make sure all that stuff's tuned up. Make sure you call us.
Nick, how do people get in touch with you?
Call us anytime. Our number is 630-284-9624. Abby's laughing at me in the background because I say that about 20 times a day, 25 times a day.
It's almost scary because whenever I
Here's
call
my number. Call me.
Whenever I'm calling you,
Anytime.
I'm like, oh man, my number is 630-284 as well.
Yeah.
Must have been an AT&T the same day or something.
Call us, like and share our Facebook page. We put all our real estate stuff on there, our marketing, our new listings, our closed deals, anything important in the real estate world, we put that on there. So,
and if people just have general questions, they can call like about real estate. Yeah. You guys are happy to share knowledge, right?
Happy to share knowledge. Doesn't matter. We field calls for people that, maybe they're not ready to buy or sell yet. They just have questions. One, just on the market. Happy to answer those kind of questions. Doesn't matter. So
another resource that the Rusty Putter is bringing you: access to real estate agents that will just offer you information because they care.
Yeah,
they care, right? That's the biggest thing. Everyone here cares.
We want to educate the public. That's the biggest thing. We want to be that real estate group that educates the public that they can go to, they can trust. So
I love it.
Yeah,
Nick, been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We'll have you back.
Absolutely.
When the Bears are good.
Yeah. Well,
I ain't coming back then.
And keep us posted.
That'll be after my career.
And keep us posted if you sell some land in the Bears and Country Club Hills there too.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we got. We'll see you guys next week. We'll talk. I don't know what we're talking about next week. We'll figure it out.
Something good.
Probably the Bears sucking still.
Now the Bears lost.